weird team. It's also the Titans. It's like this newer team. It's not the Oilers. Please just go back to can you just be the Oilers? How is neither Houston or Tennessee the Oilers? Like one team should be able to have it. It should be like Cleveland Browns. You know,
it's a climate change thing now. They're like, nah, I can't do it.
I bet it is.
Facts, dude.
That name's not doing well at our college.
They represent fossil fuels.
Exactly.
Fracking. And,
Tennessee seal killers.
ExxonMobil. I bet that's true. I'm not like there's like 10% of that.
Sports, it's in the game.
Okay, special edition, third annual Rare Candy Alpha Beta Index. The great technology developed alongside the experts at Cambridge Analytica being tested in the flesh. Well, not in the flesh, but digitally, I suppose. With returning, he helped us out last time. I've come to realize this is the first person I've ever actually interviewed on a podcast besides Psi. Marcus Johnson. It's been that long that we've been doing stuff together. Probably 3 NFL seasons ago.
That's right.
3 NFL seasons.
3 NFL seasons, about 2-ish years, 2-ish calendar years. Tape don't lie. Everybody, you gotta especially if you're a Raider fan, there is crossover. There are Raider fans in the Rare Candy listener base. You gotta go watch that. Nobody breaks down the Raiders more than they do. It satisfies my primal need for Raider news, where I constantly need people smarter than me about the team to talk. It is with Marcus, you get the GM scout perspective with his co-host Beatty Williams, who's brilliant. You get the scheme coach kind of takes on it, which is great, because they'll disagree on it, but you can tell where they're coming from perspective wise. It's kind of similar to, I bet, how a coaching staff and a GM would disagree. Like it's very interesting. So how's that been going, man? You guys were kind of just getting started last time, so now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it hasn't exploded, like I would say, but I mean, I think that
Well, shit, the fucking numbers look better than this show, I'll tell you.
I know, but I guess
no, it exploded, guys.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I guess I like it's more organic. Like, it's not like we're not like fucking Brady and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like we're just organic, and that's why I kind of like the growth, and I feel like it's more natural. We have more like a natural fan base, and like kind of these.
That's the only way to do it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And you guys have monetized a little bit too. You've kind of monetized that element of it where there's special content there. And now, there's I watch Raiders YouTube sometimes, a few of them. I mean, the problem that you guys will run into is a problem that I don't believe you guys should solve. And that's that some people want to see the positive spin on what the Raiders just did. That's what people log into YouTube. We are a tortured fan base, and not just the Raider. I mean, even like Patriots fans who've won for all these years, they want to see the positive spin on the bad draft pick their team just made. You guys don't do that.
No, we do not.
Not unless you feel that way, at least, And that being, as you see guys getting cut today. Now there's positive Alex Leatherwood videos out there. You guys probably aren't one of them, so you guys don't have to own that. So it's you. What you say in the moment might not get the most clicks, but it ages the best. So
exactly,
that's the way to go. So that's good.
Exactly. Yeah. My reaction to Alex Leatherwood pick is pretty classic. Live stream.
Same. I got mine is gift. There's a couple more gifted. I hung my head in shame.
Here it is.
Alex Leatherwood. Alex Leatherwood. God damn it. There was a surprise pick, and it's not even a surprise because Marcus actually, this is how the advertisement for Tape Don't Lie. Marcus actually knows the Tom Cable combine arm length threshold for drafting to where only he might not have been really that shocked. Like other people were shocked, but at least he was like, well, this checks the fucking. I remember him being a thing like, well, they'll pick Leatherwood's on there. I'm like, yeah, cool. Round 2 or, no problem. Round 3. Like, no problem. Nope. night one. So again, Marcus is a busy man, so we'll run through these coaches here. If the way this works is alpha and beta, I'm running the data, Marcus is running his opinion. I'm whatever Cambridge Analytica is telling me, I'm saying whether this coach is alpha or beta. Of course, first year coaches, we're just speculating. But some of these guys we've got quite a few years. I've combed through our last one. They aged reasonably well, so I feel good about that. And if anybody has a hot take on any quarterback, feel free to insert that in there too. Because we definitely have that too. So Psi, go ahead and go start us off, man.
I just love that this is becoming an institution. And sorry, before I start this off, this is like
trust, man.
This is like Thanksgiving. This is like a landmark of the year. Like with Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
or something.
It's like. And in years past, because I haven't been doing my Raiders stuff, so I'm going in blind. I don't have any notes. I'm grading. Well, of course I don't have any notes. The machine's gonna be feeding picks to me live.
Yeah.
I don't know what these are. So I don't know. I haven't had a chance to rationalize these. So I definitely have my take, which I'll try to put in there. But yeah, this is gonna be a special one right now. So Psi, go ahead and start us off. I believe we're starting with the NFC
AFC East.
Oh, we're doing AFC. That's right. Yeah, AFC East.
All right, Sean McDermott of the Bills.
Marcus, go ahead, man.
I got to go alpha with Sean. I think Sean is a big alpha coach. I think even just bringing in Josh Allen, who definitely is an alpha quarterback. We want to talk about alpha quarterbacks. Definitely Josh Allen, and putting an offense around him, even adjusting the team around him, and building the team around him, and then just to be able to handle a lot of the players. Show a lot of alpha personality to me. I think Sean McDermott's big time alpha. Just to succeed in Buffalo, to be honest. I mean, you go into Buffalo and succeed, which nobody's really done that before, and kind of change from Ron Rivera and what they would want to do and what he used to do it there. Yeah, huge alpha energy from Sean McDermott, just by the players he has over there too. To be able to control some of those players, and especially Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is a little wild dude, a little bit.
Definitely.
So he's Sean McDermott's alpha.
Yeah, he's got some Mike Tomlin to him. I don't know. It's not you can't. Mike Tomlin's a Super Bowl winner and stuff, but it just kind of seems like whoever goes there, they just become a Bill and not the player that they are, which is very good at the coach. Like some guys, Antonio Brown was with the Steelers, but he was just part of the Steelers. You didn't know how crazy he was unless you were really plugged into the Steelers. And McDermott kind of seems to limit that. Of course, everybody remembers when he first got to Buffalo, they were awful. He got rid of all the ping pong tables and arcade stuff and whatever games they were playing. He's like, no, this is just about football. Classic move. He looks like a wrestling coach. He was a wrestler, high school, college wrestler guy. He's kind of built that way. I mean, we have him as an alpha too. I mean, it's good. I mean, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to start doubting him, because it's not necessarily about winning that dictates what alpha is. It's about it's about the way you go about it. And I mean, he lost a heartbreaker. He lost the craziest playoff game I've still ever seen in my life. I mean, it was nuts. Insane. I don't know where football goes from there. I don't know how you get crazier than that. Without arena leagues and nets that you can return kickoffs off of. I don't know how this happens. Losing that game, I don't think there's one thing he did wrong in that game. I don't as a coach. It's just Tyreek Hill. I mean, it was just Tyreek Hill can score in 7 seconds or whatever on and Travis Kelce and all these crazy players. That's not really anything he can do about that. And I think his quarterback's an alpha too. I'm really jealous of what they can do as a team. I'm just really jealous to when you're that team, when you can your fan base is I don't understand that draft pick, but they know more than me. And I didn't have that as a Raider fan for a long time because they didn't, honestly. It's sad. It's sad. I'm not even saying that to tout my football knowledge, just to knock them down. You just know they'll make it work. So that's Sean McDermott, alpha. Next up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Last year was the same too. Yeah, it's we got a.
Yeah, Dolphins. I think he's been 3-year three-peat JD Power Award. Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dolphins. Interesting team this year, I feel. Dolphins, Mike McDaniel.
I'm going beta with Mike McDaniel.
Please go first, because this one. Ooh,
yeah, Mike McDaniel is very beta. I don't know, how he's gonna. If that team starts losing, I don't know how he's gonna handle losing. Like, what is he gonna tell the locker room? He gonna tell like a weird joke, or is he gonna tell like some geeky joke to the locker room? He's like trying to fit in with the black players, and like it's just a lot of beta energy to me. It's not,
but he's
not like
biracial.
an alpha.
He's biracial though, Marcus.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
How dare you?
But,
Yeah.
Sure.
So tweeting, I'm furious. I'm furious. Yeah, he's gonna start tweeting.
He's biracial for the scholarship. If it's just bad energy for him. Like even him when he's at the press conference, you don't feel like he's just the ultimate leader. You know what I mean? Like he's about to lead the team to where they need to be. I mean, maybe he'll like just draw some plays up, maybe, but like it's just different than coaching. He's just too like I don't know, man. He's just too relaxed for me. Too like I don't know. I couldn't really play. I don't know. Maybe he's different behind the scenes, but outward looking, man. Beta. Yeah.
The implication. Here's the thing. Now the machine has him graded out as a potential beta. The machine can't ascribe anything. The problem with him is he is everything that's wrong with football right now. And I feel comfortable saying this. Everything that's wrong with football. When you make the mod of your team's subreddit, essentially, your head coach, we're headed down dangerous paths. r/Dolphins is what they are. I'm going to start calling them that for that's what they're called now while he's there. Because he's like, I remember he was making like CBD references in his press conference. Because I actually disagree on a point. I wish he would just lean into the nerd thing. Because now he does like the Stranger Things, like kind of like those guys, like where it's like all these like weird cultural references that you're just come on, man, you're trying way too hard.
About Debo.
Who?
What's up, man?
Mike Jones, let's go. What's up?
And we can't be making the ringer guys because this is a Shanahan guy. We got to stop that like Shanahan automatically. If you're around Kyle Shanahan, who hasn't won yet, by the way, there's no Super Bowl rings for Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, he's just consistently good. But there's people that are like, and also, what are you going to do? He's tied to Tua like right now. He's very much tied to Tua because they punted their draft picks to go find the next. To where they could find the next replacement for Tua, because obviously he's got to be believing him in a sense, and to go get Tyreek Hill. I think they have a great roster. I think it all looks good, and I think that Shanahan run scheme is going to be good there. They have Raheem Mostert. I wouldn't be surprised if they're very good, but we need to actively root for them to be bad. I've become anti-Dolphins because with the implications for cultural NFL stuff, we can't. I feel like Jordan Peterson is like cultural Marxism in the NFL. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. We can't have this. I don't know, man.
I mean, the geeks are trying to take over the NFL anyway, so just to have him be successful, the geeks are they're trying to find somebody to get to. So I'm very anti-geek NFL right now. They've kind of frustrated me a lot.
They're doing that pointing, the beta guys pointing meme at the Beyond Chicken. I love Mike McDaniel. Yeah.
No, and it's like I wouldn't be surprised if they're very good, to be honest. Like like they have a good defense. Now Tua, he got to develop a fastball. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong, but that ball looks like
Tyreek Hill now, right?
He's got Tyreek Hill. Jesus, he's very accurate. He could throw. Tua could throw.
He does a little short pass, nice.
I like it, but it's just I know there's going to be a time in Miami's going to be outdoors at Buffalo. Is Tua cutting the wind to get that ball into Tyreek Hill? Just on a slant, even on a slant, is he getting there, or like a deep cross? Is he going to get that ball through? I don't know. And like for me, Mike McDaniel, they're tied. He's not the GM. Chris Greer is still the GM. They kept him, so he's not the GM. So Chris Greer is a little more tied to Tua than Mike McDaniel is. But I'm worried. This one I'm very worried about. This has very broad changing the scope of the NFL. It's Dan Campbell versus Mike McDaniel. I'll say that much.
Exactly.
That's what we're looking at right now in the NFL. It's very binary in that sense. So, all right, next up.
All right, we got the Jets. How do you say this guy's name?
Robert Saleh.
Saleh? Yeah, Robert Saleh.
This is a tough one for me.
Yeah, it is tough.
I'm gonna go Alpha because I still feel like Saleh it definitely has that type of energy to him. I still feel like he's a leader. He thinks he's a military guy. So I mean, he tries to. When he was wearing some Marine shirt the other day about like going dark or something like that. I was like,
yeah, zero dark, yeah,
zero
yeah.
dark energy. Like, first of all, I don't think that's a good thing to go to your dark place. Like, I don't know if he's. Yeah, I want my football players to go to the dark place, but that's an alpha thing to say.
You know what? It's we talk about our style of play. We talk about effort, technique, and violence. We want to punch people in the mouth. We want to take you into the fourth quarter and take you to a dark place that you're not willing to go to, and that's just our mindset.
It's just some like Bill Romanowski nonsense, like that just gets you to tackle a guy in 3 below weather. Like, that's just. Yeah.
It was ultimate alpha statement. So I'm gonna go alpha solid because he's he wants his players to tap into their dark energy to play.
I'm with you. My problems with the Jets are Zach Wilson. It's not. I mean, that's always been my pride. Never liked him coming out. Thought he was a little happy feet, skittish, drifting with a good pocket. Always at BYU. I never liked him. He was always this consensus, unquestioned number 2 pick behind Trevor Lawrence. But I was like, is anybody allowed to disagree with that? Because it didn't. What is your evidence that this guy's just this amazing BYU quarterback? So that was always my issue. Robert Saleh, I doubt took him. I'm sure he maybe liked him, but. Hey, Zach Wilson might have done more for his alpha beta ranking in the alpha ways recently, so I'll give him that. I mean, I respect the way he's moving, but I'll give him that. But I have Saleh as an alpha. Now, I will say I think the Jets are doing a pretty good job building the team, so he doesn't really have that like we suck now, so we can just be tough and lose tough. Like they have to kind of start winning.
Yep.
The Wilson injuries a bit of an issue right now, but I don't know if he's playing week 1 or not. But if he's not back in the first 4 games, then maybe not. But it's at the end of the day, like Saleh's gonna have to, because the Jets didn't look like a tough team last year on the field. Like they didn't look like a physical team. Maybe it's just those weird metallic green jerseys that are very arena league. Like maybe that's what's throwing me off. But yeah, I got to see it this year. He's alpha, but it's I'm running out of Robert Saleh PR points that I can push for him. So next up,
we have William Belichick.
William Belichick.
This was easy, man. Belichick's alpha.
To a fault.
Big time. He's alpha. He hasn't changed in his stripes. He feels like he's sticking to his ways. Mm-hmm. He's gonna you do your job. Do your job well. Play your role. All those things. And he had Tom Brady, kept Tom Brady under wraps for a long time. And then Tom Brady's getting plastic surgery whenever he wants to. Like he's going to get plastic surgery for 11 days.
Yeah, what is? Save that for the Bucks, because there's something. I have a conspiracy theory on Tom Brady, but
that wasn't happening before. He wasn't just running wild with Giselle and taking vacations and stuff like that mid practice. So he had a little bit more control. Belichick's the ultimate alpha, man. It's 6 Super Bowls. All that good stuff, and that team last year wasn't even that good, and they made the playoffs. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I got to ask what about the Raiders preseason game with that? Like, did that alter? What do you think about?
I think McDaniels wanted that one more than Belichick did personally.
Isn't it alpha to want to just you decide that you're going to be the offensive coordinator?
Yeah. Is he the offensive coordinator this year? It's not Matt Patricia, because that was my beta quality. Like, is that you handed the sticks to a man that didn't grade well the first year we did this.
Basically, if you're offensive coordinator for Belichick, you come in and you learn his offense.
Right.
Yeah.
It's his offense.
It's alpha to have a defense and an offense, by the way, too. Like, as a head coach, like he has a defense which is patented to be like one of the best ever. Yeah. Like, truly, like his scheme itself. I mean, Lawrence Taylor era, Patriots era, where you couldn't even name 2 players on the defense and they were still middle of the pack. That's great. He's alpha. He's probably lifetime, dude. Costco Gold Card member, like like the free tire shit, like that you get at Costco. Like he's in there, man. Like and they were like, again, last year sucks. Like they're N'Keal Harry, Nelson Aguilar, and now some of those are like him. I think maybe bringing those guys in, he's got like a little LeBron complex to him, where it's like you don't even know what's best for you. Nope. Sometimes without that constant of Tom. But again, to just be that set in your way, to not care, to already have your resume that you can constantly just lay on the table. You just be like, hey, what do you? I'm sorry, you're going to tell me this guy was not who we're taking in the third round? Like, have you seen my work history here? He's great. I think they're in for tough times this year, but again, I said that last year, and I don't know. Maybe he's like a Mike Tomlin where they're perpetually 9-8 with a bad roster for the end of their career. Like maybe that's the case. So I have him as alpha. I mean, it's easy money.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick's problem is that nobody runs that offense that they run anymore, so he can't find anybody to come in unless he hired Bill O'Brien. I mean, that's probably the only option he had was to hire Bill O'Brien.
Well, I'm kind of surprised he did.
Bad.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't either.
Yeah, because as long as Bill O'Brien's not your head coach, and we say this right now, since he's not on this league, Bill O'Brien I think got a bad rap. Bill O'Brien, the GM, is awful. I mean, I'll give him that. Like, he's an awful GM. Like, just even if you agreed with trading DeAndre Hopkins, he got horrible value for him. Like, it's not a big deal. But like as a coach, like the Texans were playing the shitty wild card game every weekend. Like they were still playing an extra game a year. It's like people talk about him like he's like Lou Holtz coaching in the NFL. Just people talk about it like that. Like no, he was fine. He was like a fine NFL head coach that couldn't get the big job done. But it was also the Houston Texans, and he was. So that being said, I've got to cape for Bill O'Brien there a little bit. But okay, we're on to the next division, are we not?
Yeah, AFC South, and we're starting with the Colts. Frank Reich,
yeah.
Ooh. I'm going Bennett with Frank Reich. Mm-hmm. I think we might have did him alpha last year.
No, this is my first year switching. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going Bennett because I think. The Carson Wentz stuff and, how they finished the season, I thought was very beta. I didn't think they, didn't handle that very well. Even a little bit how they handled it in Hard Knocks was a little interesting, So I'm switching on that one. I thought he had that alpha energy and, but it really doesn't because – one, I think to handle Carson Wentz, right, I think you have to have some alpha energy because I think Carson Wentz is like a terrible alpha. He's like a Andrew Tate alpha. So he's like kind of that. Is he really beta? You never know, right? So you got to handle him with some like serious. Like
you might have to start making videos soon if it don't work out this year.
Yeah, he was like telling Carson, like, I don't tell him if he misreads. If he misreads, he's no. Well, you tell him he's missing reads. He's like, I don't tell quarterbacks that. Sounds very beta.
Oh, that's
why Carson didn't
scared of his quarterbacks. Yeah,
exactly.
Is that part of being the quarterback fraternity or something like where they can't I don't know.
There is that QB fraternity.
Well, because you'll hear like Tony Romo won't say anything on the broadcast about the quarterback, and he'd be like, "Yeah, no, he saw the linebacker was there, but he looks a lot like the 50-yard line, so he blended in." Yeah, like Jim, you wouldn't know because you weren't out there, you weren't part of the brotherhood,
exactly.
Like those guys, like that's why I'm like kind of out on like NFL quarterbacks as head coach. Sometimes I'm starting to. Am I missing anything like on NFL head coaches that were NFL quarterbacks?
It shouldn't work. It never works, right? Yeah.
I can't think of one that was actually.
We might be missing one right under my nose, but I just don't know. You get the you get the certain guys that were like, oh, I was a backup at Colgate, University or something. Like that's fine. Those guys are humbled to death already. Like. But like the certain quarterbacks, I feel like they're kind of like the quarterback's a coach with me. He's a coach. We're coaching together and stuff. And I don't know. I think you need to be a fascist, honestly, to your quarterback. I think you need to do that. So we have him, Frank Reich, his first year as beta. Because also, like, what are the calls? It's like purgatory. Like, what I watch it, it's like they look at like a half a step away from a championship team, like speed wise. You're just watching them play. It's like a half a step slower than another championship team. Like, and like there's talent there. It's good. It should be better. That their stadium, Marcus, you might be able to speak to this, but the stadium, Lucas Oil Stadium, just doesn't look real when I watch a game there. Like it looks like the Syracuse or something. And like when I watch it, like they remind me of like Syracuse University as like a team, as a pro team. And I don't understand. For him, am I wrong? You've been to the combine, so I don't want.
That's why it's funny.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I just on TV. I'm just like, this doesn't look like a real place. I don't know what. Like, I don't know what this is. Like, but so those teams. He's on the hot seat this year for sure. If they're bad, they're bad. And the whole like, I think he wants a quarterback friend. right? Like I think that's why these guys are 40. That every fucking quarterback besides Carson Wentz, every quarterback they bring in is 40-year-old fossil who's like already got his golf bag in the meeting with the team meeting that day. Matt Ryan this year, we're doing Matt Ryan. Is that what we're doing? I've seen some people. There's people foolishly hyping that up, by the way. And I'm like, we're doing the Matt Ryan Colts this year after you've seen the Rivers one. I don't even think Ryan's better than Rivers right now. He burned me last year, so I can't.
Yeah,
I was kind of in on the resurgence last year. He burned me.
Yeah, Frank Reich, he just wants somebody to read the Bible with in between games.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, that's not always bad, but like, exactly. It's these guys. It's like you want a friend, and then you want like help me coach these 52 other men, and it's like, no, you need to take control of your team. So, yeah, exactly. No, I'm with you, Beta, absolutely. So, next up.
Yeah, we got a Jaguars, Douglas, quote unquote, Jordan B. Peterson.
Doug B. Peterson.
So I'm going alpha because he's the total opposite of Carson Wentz. He used to tell Carson Wentz that you suck.
Word.
You missed a read. And Carson Wentz used to get mad and change plays and stuff like that. So I like Doug. Doug was he played Nick Foles. Went with Nick Foles a little bit. Wasn't scared to put. I remember Carson Wentz had that back injury. He wanted to play. He put Carson Wentz on ice and said, "I'm playing Nick Foles, so you're going on ice, and I'm going to go to the playoffs with Nick Foles." I think he has a lot of alpha energy with him, and I think he's going to do something with the Jags. I think the Jags have a really good. I think the Jags have a better defense than offense. I don't think they're going to be very good on offense, but I think they're going to be way better on defense because I think that defensive line. Just from watching some preseason tape. Yeah, and Paul Gunther needs to apologize to all Raiders fans for messing up Arden Key. That's all I gotta say about that because I hate watching him on tape. I was a huge fan of him the whole time. Everybody called me insane. Watching the Jags defensive line, it just was pissing me off. So
people called me insane because I said, okay, they're like, he always misses a sack. I'm like, he's the one there though. Like that guy stays in the league. The guy that consistently gets to the quarterback. One good coach teaches him how to finish that. Like,
and he's there. He's there. Yeah, he got that coaching last year. And
then he got sick. He got fucking like old guy swole kind of, and all of a sudden is like 7 sacks a year guaranteed. Yeah, it's just
frustrating. I like Doug Peterson. I think he has I think he's gonna do something with the Jags in the next couple of years. When Trevor Lawrence grows and they actually get him some better receivers, but they try to patchwork that this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Doug Peterson. I went back and forth. I was kind of one of those, it was all Frank Reich. It was all Frank Reich. That was why. But you saw it last year, the Carson Wentz and Frank Reich thing. It just didn't work. Mm-hmm. Probably because there was no Doug Peterson there. And Doug Peterson's a former NFL backup quarterback, so maybe there's somebody to the case. He's got a Super Bowl ring. So I know I think he was McNabb's backup, if I'm not mistaken, for quite some time. Although Frank Reich probably played a little more meaningful NFL games, but the thing with the Jags is, they've probably been, along with a couple other teams, the worst drafting team, especially early in the last couple of years, trading stars away, punting on first round picks. Raider Nation, we sound familiar, it's very similar. But you need that one guy. That winning pedigree does matter, man. And that Eagles Super Bowl win, as Cinderella as it was, like that was an incredible coaching job. With Nick Foles, like there was magic involved, but it wasn't angels in the outfield, man. Like he was coaching, like it was good. It was good stuff. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to need somebody to call him an idiot a little bit. I think he needs a little remember the Titans sunshine kind of thing where, it's not, you can't pull up in the VW bus and, hand out reverse osmosis water to everybody. Like you can't do that. You got to get out there. We need, activated charcoals for after the game. Like you need to come in here. You're going to ball out. And I'm going to disagree slightly with you. I think T-Law is going to go off this year.
You think so?
I do. Not like off. Let's put it in perspective. But like, I think it's going to be. He didn't play well last year, so I think he's going to play well independently of his team. I think they're still probably a 5-win team, maybe. But I think there's going to be some games where it's like, damn, Trevor Lawrence is out playing. What happens when they go head to head with the Colts and Doug Peterson just washes Frank Reich off the earth? Because the Jaguars do own the Colts already. Yeah. What's going to happen there? I think there's going to be games like that, just like that week thing. I think Trevor Lawrence is still one more year away from his big, welcome to the NFL thing. So I'm still a believer. But I think that I'm going alpha with Peterson. Machine agrees with me, so we're good.
I think Trevor Lawrence needs at least 7 wins this year for me too. I think he's got to get the 7.
But is it set? So, but you're going off of his defense is as good as you think. Like, what if he's losing games 33-29, right? Like, I mean, is that like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we're at wins or a QB stat quite yet with the Jaguars. I think next year wins are a QB stat.
I don't see. I'm not wins or a QB stat, but I think you should. It's weird. I think you should like at least elevate the team a little bit.
No, for real. No, above at least your replacement. Like if like Jake Luton comes in there and like, you know, starts slicing and dicing too, and you're like, all right, man, like what, you know, I get that. I 7 in that division, I could see it. That's the weakest AFC division by a long shot, and if they can beat up on some of these teams, you know, maybe. But Peterson's alpha. Let's move on.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, we got Lovie Smith and the Texans.
This is a fun one.
This is gonna be. I ain't even thought about Lovie Smith.
I know. I had to Google who the Texans coach was. I was filling this out by heart.
But this one, I'm gonna go beta with Lovie Smith. Just one reason I'm gonna go beta with Lovie Smith. I think, I don't know if going into the season with Davis Mills. I don't know if that's a alpha move to me. I feel like I feel like you're kind of being safe, right? I don't want to try to take a chance on a quarterback. Let me go with this 3rd rounder that I don't even really know if he's going to be that good or not. He did garbage time. It's like everything's safe. He plays a safe cover 2. He doesn't really change. He's not growing that much. He's very old school. He wasn't even good at Illinois, really.
That's the weird part about all this. Yeah,
he wasn't good at Illinois.
They weren't good.
And it's weird. I don't know. The way he handled Jake Cutler too. Like wasn't really handling Jake Cutler correctly and getting the best out of him and all that stuff. So I really feel like he's a little beta, though. You know what I'm saying? Playing that just old school, coach, not really putting his foot down that much. So
yeah. Okay. Machine's got him as alpha. I'm actually going to agree with the Machine. Now, I think it's actually, I don't even disagree with your reasoning. I think that just makes it alpha. Like when you have like, who better than an old school white beard, bald head? It's here's the real crime. He's not playing outdoors. Okay. They're not playing outdoors. Yeah. The snow at Illinois, the snow would get in the white beard. It was very Game of Thrones. Looked fantastic. And it was super cool. I have a soft spot from the Greatest Show on Turf because their defense didn't get enough credit, in my opinion, for that run. This is like dog years, NFL moves in dog years scheme wise. So, I mean, this is so long ago, like 100 years ago, NFL time. But I don't disagree with anything you said about a scheme. I don't disagree with any of that. But I love the idea when defensive minded head coaches first get a job, they're like, give me whatever at quarterback, man. I don't give a fuck. Like I got this linebacker, this 3rd round linebacker out of Samford. That's just gonna, you don't even know about this guy. And then Derek Stingley Jr. is gonna, be defensive rookie of the year, which, could happen, I guess. But they got some guy. There's some guys over there. Like I think they've done I even like Davis Mills a little bit, to be honest. I've always did. I loved him coming out. Like I thought I think he's gonna be a perpetual like Matt Moore in the NFL, where like a team, I could see him being a high value backup one day. But no, I don't think they're going to be very good, but I think it's super alpha when an old school defensive guy finally gets his shot or second shot and just doesn't and just tries to make the 85 Bears. They all do it. They get their running back and they're just like, it's going to be Walter Payton. I have Walter Payton at running back. I have Jim McMahon at quarterback, who isn't that good, but was whatever. And then I have the best defense of all time because I love my defense, and it doesn't matter who's in my defense. To me, that's alpha. Now, does it result in wins? Probably not. I think he's one and done, honestly. But that's I think it's charming. I think it's charming. The Texans are a great team for that to happen too, because they're just kind of like this petri dish of experiment, like that the NFL does, where all these weird things happen there, and they're still not really a real team to me. Like just with that logo, until that logo changes, that's Arena League. It's very Arena League. Yeah. I still remember like David Carr being drafted by them, and Andre Johnson finally getting there and be like, wow, they have a good player. Like, whoa. and they are another stadium that doesn't look real. Reliant Stadium in Houston just doesn't look. It's another like a not real division, full of like these weird stadiums. But I think we're gonna get a lot of great Lovie Smith sound bites this year. A lot of like very alpha, like hard headed, like you reporters don't know anything. Like what are you talking about punting? 4th and 2, down 3. Like with 2 minutes left on the clock. My defense, I had 3 timeouts. You're gonna get a lot of that stuff, and regardless of whether that's good or not, I think it's alpha.
There you go.
So next up.
Oh boy, Titans, Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Mike Vrabel. Alpha Mike Vrabel. Totally. I'm gonna go with Vrabel. I think Vrabel pulling Malik Willis for missing a read was hilarious. I feel like that's an alpha move. Like, oh, you missed a read, get out the game. Like, throw the ball.
Would Frank Reich have done that?
No. Frank Reich hey, Malik, great job, great game. So. I really like that, and then he called him out of the press conference. Didn't care. I like how he used to troll Tom Brady too.
Totally.
A lot, and still does. And I think that's he can get under Tom Brady's skin still. And Vrabel, he's been winning with that team over there for a while. I mean, they keep winning. I don't even know how they went 12-5 last year. No idea, but they did it.
They had the number. They didn't have number one. Were they number one? Oh God, yeah, they had a bye. People forget.
They had a bye.
Imagine when Ryan Tannehill was losing with the Dolphins, he'd be like having a bye with his next team, like just like perpetually, like just
and they keep them from winning. He threw 3 picks. They lost that game because of him, literally, literally because of him.
100%.
No,
I love it.
Yeah. So
I love.
Yeah. Go ahead, Glenn. My bad.
Yeah. No. I love Mike Vrabel. I actually think the Titans. There's this weird thing. So like there's a yin and yang of NFL offseason hype. The Chargers are on one part. They're the constant champion. That's going to happen. The Titans are falling off every year. The Titans. This is it for the Titans, guys. They're back to the Vince Young, late Vince Young tenure, CJ2K hamstring injury. Like, they're back to that, and it never happens because Mike Vrabel's awesome. That's why it doesn't happen. First off, their defensive line is filthy. Jeffrey Simmons is a dog, absolute dog. Should be in a Raider silver and black uniform every time I see him. Should be.
Me too.
3 chances to get him. 3 chances. They could have had him, but no, he's Jeffrey Simmons, absolute dog. Kevin Byard, absolute dog. And their defense is. Here's the problem with the Tennessee Titans. It's their uniforms. Their uniforms suck. I hate. I look at them. They're again another not a real. This division's not real. The Jaguar, none of these, like all these teams don't look real, and then like they'll be really good sometimes, and you're like, what is this? The Titan, like the outdoor stadium, they feel like they should play indoors when you watch that. Like it's this weird dynamic with them. The Titans are just such a weird team. It's also the Titans. It's like this newer team. It's not the Oilers. Please just go back to can you just be the Oilers? How is neither Houston or Tennessee the Oilers? Like one team should be able to have it. It should be like Cleveland Browns.
It's a climate change thing now. They fucking they're like, nah, I can't.
Dude, I get it is.
Facts, dude.
That name's not doing well at our college.
They represent fossil fuels.
Yeah,
fracking.
And, Tennessee seal killers.
Exxon Mobil, man. I bet that's true. I'm not like there's like 10% of that in the mix for sure. But no. Vrabel, they don't deserve him because if Vrabel could be the next Steelers coach after Tomlin. Like he's one of those guys where it's just I love those guys that run a tight ship. He also knows how to have fun. He's not one of those like Bill Belichick. He's definitely got the Bill Belichick vibe to him a little bit, but he's able to have fun because he consumes like modern media and stuff. So he knows what's being said and all that. And again, man, saying you're going to cut your dick off to win a Super Bowl, that buys you a lot of time in the NFL. And he's crazy enough. I believe him,
I believe him too.
Yeah, I believe him too. And I honestly, I'd say like 70% of NFL head coaches are like, look, I'd have to talk it over with my family, but he's alpha. They're winning the division again, guys. Psych. I hate to break it to you. Everybody thinks that, oh no, AJ Brown, Robert Woods is going to go off this year, dude. Yeah. He's going to go off Nick Westbrook Akina or whatever is going to have a huge year. I don't even know that. Again, a guy, it's like, that's not a real person, but it is. He's going to have 1,000 yards. And Derek, oh man, if everyone forgets about Derrick Henry, their offensive line's not even good. He's going to rush for 1,500 yards. It's just people are surprised by it every year, and it always happens, and you wonder why. So, yeah, next up.
Yeah, well, Vrabel's one of my favorites to talk about on this segment. Yeah,
the vest is wonderful. The vest with like the huge traps. Like wearing nerd clothes, but as like an obvious jock. I love that.
Yeah,
like that's always a great look. So,
all right, we got the AFC North. We're starting off with Bengals, Zach Taylor.
Do we owe him an apology?
Yeah. There's a couple on this list that we might have to reconcile.
I'm not apologizing.
I'm not apologizing. I see. I'm still leaning beta on him. I don't know why.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm still leaning beta with him. I know they took him to the Super Bowl, and I know they went, but like, did he take him to the Super Bowl?
No.
Exactly. You know, he just like
he handed out Cliff Bars to keep everyone energized. That's what
you know. Oranges at lunch. You know, orange slices.
Yeah.
I don't know. What does he do?
He's like a Jason Garrett like type guy, like clapper, just like a guy just constantly clapping, just kind of like this is what they need right now. My boys need that.
Yeah. Hey, that's it. Get a drink. We got base downs. That's it. Get some water. Nice job, Joe. Nice job. Good job, BJ. Way to pull off, BJ.
I mean, does he like do like passionate speeches? Like, I don't know. Like,
I've never heard passionate speech. Grilling somebody. Can you imagine? Joe, get over here. Can you even imagine that? Like, I can't.
Joe's very looking like, shut up.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's like, maybe it works because Joe isn't. I don't think Joe would respond to the Doug Petersons of the world. The John Grudens, the dictators. But please finish your Zach Taylor.
Oh yeah. Because I agree with that. I think I think Joe Burrow kind of I wouldn't let Joe Burrow wear those weird jackets he wears. So I would definitely. Yeah. Definitely baited to let him walk in with the jackets and sunglasses he was wearing in the Super Bowl. Or that outfit he wore.
Russell Westbrook lost the finals early in his career too. Let me just
yes. Yeah, Mr. Crown Joe. So but I just don't think I don't know what he does over there. I don't know what he does. I still can't figure it out. He's not the I don't does he call the plays? I don't think he calls the plays.
Does he not? Oh yeah, no. Yeah, well, if you don't know, then it's not clear. So that's the thing.
If you have to ask, he doesn't.
Yeah,
when he does.
Yeah, you of all people, I would think you'd know off the top of your head, like, oh yeah, no, that's the guy. Yeah.
Beta as hell.
No, I'm with you. Now, side part is Joe Burrow actually alpha.
See, man, that Joe jacket's like that was bad juju on the day that lost the game, right? I think the second I saw it, dude, I was like, no.
I think Burrow's an alpha because that's the only way his team plays it good around him. Because I don't think he's as good of a quarterback as he gets his team to play, and like because he like fights, he'll get in a fight at practice with somebody and stuff like that. He's like just a tough quarterback. They like football players like guys who like to get tackled. They like quarterbacks who like to get tackled.
Yeah, exactly. Like this guy will take a bullet for you, man. He'll sit in the pocket.
He took 9 sacks and he's still throwing, even though they only scored a touchdown.
Yeah, and then also like the reason is he holds on the ball forever. That's why he takes the sacks half the time. Yeah,
I call he's Russell Wilson, but whatever, we'll see.
No, it's very true. Now I love Joe Burrow. I think he's great. I think it's great because it's like it doesn't look that cool, but it just happens. Like the Chiefs thing, you really can't take the Chiefs game away from him. The thing, like the way he just got it done. I mean, I don't know what happened, but he got it done. Now, that being said, Zach Taylor, right? I think Joe Burrow's alpha. Zach Taylor's beta. I mean, Jamar Chase, right? Did he draft Jamar Chase? No, he absolutely did not. Their GM did. Who I think their GM is an alpha, and I think their defensive coordinator is an alpha. I think their defensive coordinator. Dude, their defensive coordinator. If you look at their defensive backfield, Jesse Bates was good, and he had his worst season. And then you have everybody else who's like, these guys are like solid players, but not anything insane. Eli Apple, like all these like random guys. And that if you're going to try to give the credit to anybody for that Chiefs game, they're the ones that shut out Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter or whatever that was. I mean, they were like amazing in that game. They were the ones that beat up Ryan Tannehill. They were the ones who did all that. And like with Zach Taylor, it's like, yeah, well, what do you do here? Like what's your job? I mean, he got the job on the Sean McVay ties, which there's more guys on this list that got that too. It's fine. It's not. I can't say that isn't working. I mean, the guys played the Super Bowl against each other, so it's tough to say that's not working. But I don't know what Zach Taylor is doing to Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, who had success in college together, by the way. Like, it's like these are guys like that probably figured out how to play together in college, and that's, I don't know. I don't think we owe them an apology because, for one, I think they're going to regress this year. I think their division will catch up to them, and two, I don't know, man. Like, if Zach Taylor was, maybe I'm missing something. If any Bengals fan has like these, oh man, look at this clip of Zach Taylor just owning shit, you know what I mean, in the locker room, I'll be happy to watch it, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't understand. That's why I'm not big on the Bengals like going back to the Super Bowl or even like winning their division, because I just don't know what he does. And Lamar Jackson's back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then, like, hey, if you consider the Steelers, they play the Steelers week 1. I'm already hammering Steelers money line week 1. I'm telling you,
I like it.
Yeah, and it's because of the coaches. But anyways,
some
next
gambling alpha for you right there.
Yeah,
some heat info. Yeah,
yep,
we got Kevin Stefanski.
He's a beta, man, big time beta. He can't handle Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
put Baker in his place. Like him and Baker had Baker was basically doing what Carson Wentz was doing with Frank Reich. So it kind of shows a lot about what Kevin Stefanski does, and then and then just the way they handled everything, and just being the Browns, and I don't think he handled Baker Mayfield very well, and they had a good team last year, and they just didn't do anything. His offense isn't very good either. I don't know why he's getting so much praise for his little play action offense he was running. I think he's mad beta. He doesn't have really good leadership energy or anything like that to me. So yeah, get him out of here.
Yeah, I've been caping for this guy. I caped for him last year. I liked the way they looked in the Fauci year. I thought they looked pretty good. They did get to, was that the AFC Championship or the division? No, I think it was divisional that they got, and they gave the Chiefs the best run in the AFC, and I kind of drank the Kool-Aid on that. But it's absolutely right. Now I have to know, how involved was he in the Deshaun Watson trade? Because I don't care about, I'll be the first person to say I'm not like the ethics council for quarterbacks. Like I think NFL is a gladiator sport, and I think anytime you can win, you should just go get a guy that wins. But that being said, it's 2022.
Yeah.
You have this many allegations against you. Whether or not you want to MRA kind of like, well, actually, Deshaun didn't sign any waivers that said he would do. Like, if you want to do all that stuff, that's one thing. The NFL is going to drop the hammer on him. This. Like, this. They got on Terrell Pryor for signing autographs in college and suspended him in the NFL. When the public opinion is against somebody, they get suspended. That's what happens, even if they don't get it right the first time. I knew this from the get-go. You traded 3 first. I don't know how involved Stefanski is, but it seems like a weird thing where, like, your coach, if he is your coach, he feels in on it. Sean McVay told Les Snead to go get Matthew Stafford. Like these guys, when these guys have been with organizations for multiple years, I think he's in on this. And I think that's one of the biggest blunders. I called it at the time, and people thought I was insane, especially Raider fans who just wanted Deshaun Watson. Yeah, no shit, he's good. But first off, he hasn't played in 2 years, and he's barely going to play this year. First game's going to be against the Texans this year. And you owe the guy how much money? Your number one wide receiver is Amari Cooper now. I don't that's not that good. I'm sorry. Their wide receiver core is not good anymore. Like, it was better last year. Odell Beckham leaves. He's great with the Rams immediately.
Yeah.
Like clutch and good and a great teammate. We haven't gotten to the Panthers yet. I'm in on Baker to the Panthers. I'm telling you, I'm in. It's a thing. There's going to be some games. There's going to be some games where, like, you're going to be like, damn, dude. Especially as a gambler, you're going to be like, I'm scared to bet against that Panthers team. They're going to be that team that's like 6-11, but like 10-7 against the spread. Like, you're gonna be like, damn, man, like, these guys battle. Like, and I think I think Kevin Stefanski's gonna. I think the Browns are gonna be really bad this year, like really bad.
Yeah, because the thing is with Deshaun Watson,
with no pick to show for how bad you are the next year.
Exactly, because the thing is with Deshaun Watson, because I was watching, I talked about this in my quarterback podcast. We're talking about the Manti Te'o story, and at the end of that documentary, Manti Te'o, he went out there and had full anxiety, and that was just over the catfish story. Right. So now, how is Deshaun Watson going to react to all of this and the things people are going to be saying to him? That's why he threw the ball in the stands. His first pass, he had like an easy wide guy threw it in the stands.
Yeah. What? And also like, I think Deshaun Watson's a great quarterback. I loved him coming out of school. I don't think that he's not as good now because of all this stuff. Now, my thing is like, we're not talking about Tom Brady. We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers. We're not talking about these guys that are perpetual MVP candidates. Like Deshaun Watson has ups and downs in his career. If you watch him, like he's not this, like they traded for him as though it was Peyton Manning for the Broncos. Mm-hmm. Like that's something I would have expected the Broncos to give up for Peyton Manning. What they gave up for him, when really you could have rode that out and got him for a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
After he was suspended, like you could have done that. You could be like, I'll take him off your hands, dude. Get that mess out of your hands. Now you have to deal with the PR, but the Browns are already in PR nightmare for having him. So it's like, why do you gave up all that stuff to get the worst PR? And you're the Browns. You're trying to like rehabilitate your image as a winning team. It's mind-numbingly bad, and they deserve everything bad that happened to him. And I'm not even talking about it from an ethics standpoint. I'm talking about from a football standpoint. Like it's a dumb move, and I can't say that Kevin Stefanski, the coach, has been there for 4 years now, is probably was he not consulted at all? You think he's really shocked by that? No, they traded him. He wanted him probably.
Of course they did.
Yeah. So I got a beta. I think he's just gonna 3 yards in a cloud of dust with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb all year. That's all it's gonna be. Mm-hmm. So, and Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. So, yeah, that's what you get, man. I mean, their defense, they're going to waste probably a pretty talented defense this year. So that's what's going to end up happening. So, next up.
I agree.
John Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's alpha. He's alpha. I'm going to go alpha with Harbaugh. I think it's just there's a football family. They keep winning, and I think it's very alpha to stick in the family. They have the family thing, and they won't let go with Greg Roman. Greg Roman's the friend. It's Jim Harbaugh's boy. They won't move on. They keep running the same offense. They don't care. He doesn't care what other people think or what the thought process is. I mean, that's half the reason they took Lamar Jackson is kind of just like, I just want to do whatever I want to do and kind of be unorthodox, and we're gonna play. We're going to run the ball 60% of the time, and we're not going to pass, and we're going to play tough defense and special teams. Right. So it's just very old school alpha. I think they're alpha kind of dumb football family. So, I think that, keeping Greg Roman in itself is interesting because I don't see any reason why they have kept Greg Roman for so long. I don't get it.
No.
Well, hey.
And they got rid of Martindale, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was one I didn't expect either. They actually finally cut ties with him.
Yeah.
And no, I think you're right. I mean, the machine has him graded as alpha. I am kind of wondering what their move is because I think the move that they need to make, and people always look at me weird, but I think they should let Lamar walk. Personally,
really?
Yeah, I do. And it's not anything against Lamar, but it's just like whatever number you get for him, you're just betting on his legs for being the same for the next 5 years. Because I like Lamar, he's good. If I don't have optimal running Lamar, I don't know how much I love paying him $50 million. Because if Kyler got 46, Lamar's there's no metric that Lamar isn't as good at as Kyler Murray where he wins anything. He's going to get more. But if I'm paying Lamar that much money, and I've seen what can happen when he's even playing just a little injured and just not at his full skill set. I just wonder, the ultimate alpha move to me with John Harbaugh, and I don't think he'll do it, but to just kind of let the GM know, hey, this guy doesn't have to be here. Now, it's not all his decision. The owner's not going to want to get rid of the number 8 jerseys in the stands. He's probably the top 5 most popular player in the league, at least.
Yeah.
That's not all up to him. I understand that. I just think and also I'm looking at what the team is. One thing I've loved about the Ravens is they've replaced outgoing talent and often upgraded in the draft. And I think they can do the same thing at quarterback. I mean, they people talk. Joe Flacco's a meme now. Everybody laughs at Joe Flacco. He was a fine quarterback for them. They won games with him. They were every single year they were playing in January with Joe Flacco, including a Super Bowl run that was some of the best quarterback play randomly I saw for like a month was Joe Flacco. And I'm just wondering, like, why not lean on that process with Lamar? Because like Lamar, you cannot even like draft wide receivers for Lamar.
Yeah,
they end up wanting to go somewhere else because they're like, this is my boy. We play Call of Duty together, but I'm not getting the ball.
See, because I think that's more Greg Roman's offense than it's Lamar.
But is that the only offense you can run for him?
See, I think at the time,
your scheme. So your scheme
at the time, I would say coming into the league, yes. I think last year
on him now.
I think last year, I think he's ready.
Okay,
I think he's ready.
I'd like to see it. I would like to see him go somewhere. I want to see the test. I'd like to see him go to, I don't know, wherever. I just Minnesota Viking. I don't know, just wherever, just random place where. I don't know.
And the thing is, I think they tried it last year, but you just can't do that with Greg Roman. And that's why I was like, if you could pick it up, and I mean, because he was on pace to throw 4,000 yards, he would have like 1,200 rushing, 4,000, whatever. But I mean, he's throwing a lot of picks and stuff like that. But he's got. You can't pass in that offense, so they have to make a decision. I mean, they're kind of pigeonholing him too.
Yeah, no, it's
so it kind of be interesting to see what he would do if he went to a different offense and somebody.
I just want to see it from my own eye. Like I like Lamar a lot. I think he's great. I think he's one of the most fun players I've ever seen play football. I think he's great. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's awesome. Yeah. And I just wonder. I'm like. If the Ravens they're a two-time Super Bowl champion in a 25-year span, like they're used to winning, and I think after a while they're gonna get sick of the like kind of mundane, not that great wild card game performance that he's gonna do all the time. And again, if you should have fired Roman and it didn't happen, that would have been nice. That would have been a good smaller experiment to do. I'm just like, man, if Harbaugh becomes the alpha of all alphas, if he says I don't really need this guy anymore, like because nobody will be on his side when he does it. Lamar is royalty in the NFL now because everyone was so wrong on him coming in, the Bill Polian, which honestly I feel like it was just Bill Polian. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was just Bill.
Like I feel like everybody else was like, yeah, no, he's gonna be fine. It's gonna be cool. Hopefully somebody gets him. But Bill Polian was like, he's a running back on ESPN, and he was just like geriatric guy with like
shot heard around the world, dude.
Yeah, like pudding coming out of his mouth on ESPN. And he's like a guy who sucked at drafting for some time. Like he was like very much leaning on like Peyton Manning in most of his drafting years, but he there was this whole narrative with Lamar. I just want to see it somewhere else. So that's just a sidebar on him. I think he's great. I think he's an alpha quarterback. I'd love to see him get like. It'd be funny if they let him walk and he goes to like the Steelers or something. That would be sick as fuck, dude. That would be
oh my god,
so tight. That would be like so electric. AFC North Sunday Night Football, 4 degrees outside. Can't wait.
Hell yeah.
So, anyways, that's long-winded on the Ravens there, but it's an exciting team. So,
Well, Mike Tomlin, Steelers is next. So you perfect lead in right there.
I mean, this is easy to me. This is alpha.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin, the controller of idiots. That's what I call him. He controlled a lot of idiots, man. I have no idea how he went with those teams. Antonio Brown and even Mike Wallace is a personality. Mike Wallace is crazy too. Ben Roethlisberger, he speaks for himself. He's nut too. All those
James
guys.
Harris. I mean, these guys like James Harris. I mean, these guys are nuts, dude. Yeah. Ryan Clark's crazy too. Ryan Clark got a little screw missing too. I mean, he's very well like a real articulate guy, but like you could just tell like Ryan Clark's a little crazy too. You could tell. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because to be honest, like it's crazy. We probably don't even know the stories about Antonio Brown. I mean, there's probably some stories we don't know about Antonio Brown and Pittsburgh. Wow,
dude,
crazy stuff. Because I read about Michael Irvin and stuff Michael Irvin did that nobody talks about.
Right.
I don't even know if Michael Irvin's on TV. To be honest, don't know. No idea. So we're gonna read some book later on, like 10 years from now, we're gonna find out what everything Antonio Brown did as a Steeler. But yeah, it's Mike Tomlin handling that and winning too.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. So alpha, big time.
100%. I mean, it's in my opinion, I'd say is the top alpha rating in the entire NFL to me. If we were to stack them all up, even more than Bill Belichick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He didn't have the Brady constant. I mean, Ben is good, but he's not Brady. And the fact is that he for one, if they have a winning season with either rookie Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky, which it's not out of the question. If there's one team it can happen with Mitch, it's this team. And that's why, because of Mike Tomlin, they get guys like Deontay Johnson, who is from the Antonio Brown trade, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was one of the picks. I believe he was the third rounder in that trade. And Deontay Johnson takes like pennies on the dollar, in my opinion, for a wide receiver contract to stay there. Because some guys, I think now guys are starting to know, it's like, if I leave here, I don't get coached better. Like I don't go to better scenarios than this, where like my coach is not just like this fiery, like yell at you all the time guy. Like he was on the Pivot podcast. He was great. I mean, he's like real like personable and funny and stuff. And he's not just this like hardo like football guy all the time. But if they have a winning season, if the Steelers get in the playoffs, I mean, you need to build statues of this man around Pittsburgh, because they have flaws in that team. Like their offensive line's not that good. They drafted a running back really high without an offensive line. They're kind of in that scenario right now. Their defense, they find guys, but like I don't feel like it's classic Steelers defense. Like it doesn't seem like they have that. But it's just like, man, it's just a well-oiled machine that probably doesn't even have the nicest parts right now, man. But that car's going to be running, and if they're even 9-8 this year, it's a miracle. And I think if any coach can do it, it's him. So alpha as hell. I think guys are going to want to play for him. I think everybody wants to play for him. And the Steelers don't really pay anybody, to be honest, in free agency. So, like, the fact is, I think a lot more guys want to go there than the guys that he actually has. So,
exactly.
Nonetheless, alpha, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite coach in the NFL. Most alpha for sure.
I resist comfort. I ask my guys to resist comfort, right? Guys that played for me, they can tell you one of my sayings, I got a lot of sayings, is don't seek comfort. Seeking comfort is a natural human condition, right?
AFC North. Oh, wait, West. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right, Broncos. Nathaniel Hackett.
I mean, all right, I'm going to go alpha because I think he got with Aaron Rodgers, and I think you have to be an alpha to handle Aaron Rodgers. And build a friendship with him and get his trust, since Aaron's his brain is just it's full of ayahuasca right now, so who knows what his energies he's dealing with right now. So so for Nathaniel Hackett to handle him, and I think kind of build a good relationship where Aaron Rodgers trusts you and trust you're gonna make the right play call. He's not making the play calls, but he has to do with it. I think him and Floor, they all balance. They got like a red zone play caller, so I think he called the plays in the red zone. So for that trust, to get that trust from Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know how he's going to handle Russell. We'll see how he handles Russell because I think we'll get to the NFC, but Pete handled Russell a lot better than Russell didn't like how he handled him. So he's left. So how we're going to see how Mr. I like to be an alpha on TV, Russell Wilson, how he handles Nathaniel Hackett. We'll see how Nathaniel Hackett handles him and kind of telling him what he needs to do and what he needs to get better at because, Russell Wilson thinks he's Drew Brees for some reason. So, but, just to handle Aaron Rodgers, because, Aaron Rodgers, he's going to do his own thing. And if you can get him to trust you and trust your play calls and him play within the offense, I think you got to have that. You got to have some kind of mystique and leadership to you. So I'm going to go alpha, even though I really don't know much about him.
No, I don't either. I've listened to an interview of him. He was on Pardon My Take. He's like kind of one of those. He's a hip hop dancer.
What?
Dude, I'm sure you wanted to know that before you made your rating, but he's like a hip hop dancer. I mean, hey, look, I mean, it's this thing I do with my daughter, but it sounds like he was doing it long before he had kids. Like it was he was like one of those guys in front of like the college libraries, like you know what I mean, like one of those guys. I'm like, hey, like do your thing, but like Hard Knocks should have been in Denver this year because I would have loved to have seen it personally.
Oh man!
But hopefully a video gets out there. That's neither here nor there. Of course, all coaches have weird hobbies, but honestly though, not really, because I think your only hobby as a coach should be fishing in the off season. Anyways, no. Russell Wilson is the Lamar thing. We're seeing the Russell Wilson thing as the Lamar thing that I want to see. Basically, the experiment. Go somewhere else. New guy. Yeah. Is it him? Is it the organization? Is it why can't we get past this one little part? Russell won early, but it's been kind of the same thing for the most of his career after that, where it's just been this. Look, this guy's great. He kind of fizzles out towards the end of the year. Playoff games, I don't know. And I agree with you. I think Pete Carroll actually did a much better job, and I think he's a much better coach than Russell, than the people who are just in this Russell Wilson, UNICEF. Please save Russell Wilson. Dial this number for UNICEF. Save him from Seattle. And it's like, I don't know. I think he creates a lot of the problems there. I think there's this issue there. As far as he's kind of his own worst enemy. And I'm just gonna say beta for Nathaniel Hackett because it's a guess. Like I don't really know. I don't like. I can't. I'm not like married to that idea, but I think he's beta, and I think Russell Wilson like wanted to go to a scenario where like I'm in charge, So I think that's what they're gonna do. I think Denver is so desperate after Drew Lock and the Paxton Lynch, the post Manning era. I think they're so desperate that they're just gonna let him basically open up car dealerships like John Elway out there, and it's going to be a very odd thing. I think they're not as good as people think they are. So it's yeah. Anyway,
most overrated team every
absolutely no, absolutely. They have these wide receivers that I keep hearing about. These Hall of Fame wide receivers that have yet to eclipse 500 yards in a season.
Yep.
Yeah. All these guys. Tim Patrick, bro. I swear to God, Tim Patrick. Yeah. But anyways, next up.
Yeah, we got Brandon Staley of the Chargers.
Oh, it's beta, real quick. I'm going beta. Brandon Staley. I'm going beta. The one reason I go beta because I think he's just way too damn positive. I've been hearing his press conferences, and they just lost the playoff. They lost their chance at the playoffs. He's talking about the great job Joe Lombardi did that game. Joe Lombardi was a great. We really, we just came short. We did everything perfect. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Brandon.
You did a lot of things wrong.
And I think the team takes on that kind of beta thing, and I think Justin Herbert takes it on of the leader. He's like, Justin Herbert won't yell at his teammates. He won't yell at Jared Cook stopping on a play. He throws a pick. He just he just runs off the field like a little wimp. It's like it's all beta energy, and they like get hype when they like win games, and then they finish 9-8. They, what I'm saying? That team was way more talented than it is. People love the fourth down thing, which I think is interesting because even if you have a 60% conversion rate on fourth down, if you do 40 of them, that's a lot of times losing the possession. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand that thought process. When let's keep going, but like you should be like 90% if it's like something that you're gonna do, right? But I mean 40% of the time missing it, that means 40% of the time you're giving the team the ball where the Raiders had it, and the Raiders won by a field goal, and everybody talks about that. Well, they only got a field goal. Well, they won by a field goal. So that was a turning point in the game, and you went for a 4th and 1 and you're 18. Like, come on, bro. This is for the playoffs, man. Like, this is not, it's I don't care what the percentages say sometimes. It's more about, knowing football and knowing that 40% of the time I don't make it.
Yeah.
Dude, and honestly, handing the keys over to nerds mid-game on the biggest possession of your life. It's like, hey, guys, what should I do? And this guy pushes his glasses in. You got a 60% chance of getting this first down here. And it's like, it's like you just said, Marcus, you don't have there's no potential range of outcomes. That's the beauty of football. It's one play sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one play, and you have to realize, like, okay, am I going to get this or am I going to not? And the one thing you didn't say about in all this stuff, which I completely agree with you on the thing, he's a defensive-minded head coach. So to say, like, I'm going for it on my own 18-yard line on 4th down, people are, he does trust his. No, you're already in the red zone, bro. You don't trust. You're already allowing the Raiders to get a touchdown. I think they only got a field goal out of that, if I'm not mistaken. But like, they did. You're a defensive minded coach. Punt them. I mean, like something like that's more what defensive coaches do. I think it's so Chargers. I think it's the most Chargers thing in the world to have Brandon Staley as their head coach. I thank God every single day it's not Brian Daboll, and I'm calling my shot early on Brian Daboll for when we do a NFC. But okay. I think God every single day that it's not even so much that I think Brian Daboll is amazing in-game strategist, but any coach you make that isn't like Justin or Herbert centered, because it's not. Brandon Staley is not Justin Herbert centered when you hire him. That's not you're not thinking about Justin Herbert when you hire Brandon Staley. And also, like, hey man, has anyone actually looked at Justin Herbert? Like, the hype he gets, it's like you look at the guy and he's just a 6'6" like Megan Rapinoe, like, who is this guy? Like weird hairnet situation. Like, come on. Like, the thing about Justin Herbert is he's very good, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off this year. He's very good. He went off last year. Something looks a little weird about him. I don't know what it is. The way he throws, it's like people are like, "Wow, what a!" I don't know. Josh Allen throws look way sicker than Justin Herbert throws.
He's beta too. That's his problem. He doesn't have the. They talked about his intangibles coming out, and I even looked it up on YouTube. I was trying to find him mic'd up in a game.
Yeah, anything.
He's not mic'd up in a game. He did something like he like makes jokes during the game, like something like he's like a jokester. He basically like a frat guy. He's basically like a geeky frat guy. Like he's plays beer pong and stuff like that, and goes out there and thinks he's gonna like lead something. And that's what I was talking about. Like when they
frat
lose.
guy, an
Oregon frat guy.
It's not that's not like a Ohio State frat guy. This is like Oregon biology and chemistry major frat guy. Where he's just like 18 rabbit bars and like just these like weird Google micro kitchen snacks that he's eating all day. Like, nah.
It was his idea to change the Oilers name to the Titans.
Yeah.
It was like he workshopped it.
Plus, he was classic. He was classic. Like I'm educating my whole entire team on the benefits of COVID-19. Like very much one of those guys.
Total Oregon right there. Bro.
Yeah, that's the most pep talk you're gonna get. That's the pep talk you're gonna get.
I know that's the pep talk.
Yeah, guys, 2 masks is better than 1. No, but anyways, he'll get that. So anyways, let's move on. Chargers, classic Chargers. Classic Chargers have.
Can
that
you
coach.
be an alpha head coach Chargers, dude? Is that even
that's
possible
also
the next
tough.
5 years, dude?
They fired their one, Marty Sternheimer, man. They fired him.
Shoddy was great, man. Yeah, and even he couldn't do it. Yeah, it's just one of those things. So all right, two more.
All right, we got the last two, the AFC. Andy Reid of the Chiefs.
God, he's a tough one. Man, I'm gonna go alpha because I just kind of like how Andy just refuses to run the ball. You have guys lined up. There's 3 guys lined up in front of you. There's three defensive linemen. They're dropping 8 the whole second half. You're just like you're up 21-3. You're like no, I'm throwing and I'm gonna keep throwing and I'm not going to run the ball with my great offensive line and I'm going to do. It's very stubborn. I feel like there's a lot of there's some stubbornness to him. He hasn't tried to lose weight. I think that's a very alpha move. He's held out all that money, hasn't even tried to lose weight. Doesn't care. It just keeps going, keeps making things happen. So and he wins a lot. He got the most out of Alex Smith, man. So I'm gonna give him alpha.
Totally. I mean, and this year, as much as it pains me to say it, I think they're still the favorite in the division without the most explosive player in the NFL. Like they're still the favorite. Like hey, my boys, my guys are coming. Trust me. Don't worry. I'm not saying they're not. But Raider Nation, I'm not doubting them. They have if they struggle, then it's going to be great for me because I love it. But I don't know. Like I just think there's I kind of respect the strategy they did. Like, look, you will never replace Tyreek Hill. But also, if you hit on I'm not a Sky Moore guy, but if you get Sky Moore and you get these other guys, I'm not a Valdez guy. I don't necessarily love the moves that they made to replace him, but if you have a top 3 offense with that, I don't think there's any. I think you save your GM a lot of work to where they don't really have to fucking pay anybody that catches a pass from you like ever again. And I think a lot of that comes from Andy Reid's offense. Now his limitations in big games, I mean, they're always going to be there. But I think just that when you're a coach and you're saying my system reigns supreme, whether that's right or wrong, it's alpha.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I see it. I think they're still the favorites. I wouldn't be surprised if they are hosting a playoff game. Like
I wouldn't be either. I mean,
and Spag and their defense is like way better than it was. Like it's. I think that maybe I don't know. I think they have some guys on defense. I think they drafted well. I think
their secondary sucks. I'm gonna say that.
So you're not a McDuffie guy.
I mean, he played cover 3, and now he's gonna play cover 0.
Fair, yeah, fair.
We will see. We'll see.
Okay, so hey, I want all that to be true. I want them to go. I want them to win no games.
I mean, everywhere else in defense, they're actually pretty strong. Linebacker.
Yeah, I just the people are writing them off, but at the same time, it's like the Chargers' time, and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you guys are forgetting this next team, anyways. Everybody's forgetting about this next team.
Yeah,
about all that. So let's do it. Close it out. The AFC.
Josh McDaniels, Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm a big Josh McDaniels guy, so I'm going alpha with Josh because I'm a big Josh McDaniels guy. I think that just from going out to the practice as well and watching how they practice, and I think he's a quiet dick. That's what I like. Totally. He's gone from. I mean, in Denver, you should have seen him. He's crazy. He was a nutso, but they didn't listen to him either. If they listened to him, they would have won. Brandon Marshall told some story like, if I listened to him, we would have won though. Yeah, right. See? So it wasn't that like he didn't have good ideas over there or anything like that. I think that he's just more being like a quiet dick this time. Like I think that he was he was trolling Alex Leatherwood when they asked him questions about it. Like he's working hard, I guess. I mean, he's doing his thing, but so right. It was like I kind of like it. I kind of like his he's more of like a quiet, I'm going to be a dick very nicely to you energy that he's doing now. It's very sure he's matured. He's just not just screaming at you at the top of his lungs. He's still going to tell you that you suck right now when I show you on tape, but I'm going to be a leader. And I think just what they're doing. They cut Alex Leatherwood. I mean, that was just dead money. Who cares? Whatever. I'm going to lose money. Who cares? Cut him. He sucks. It's very alpha, and even trading Trayvon Mullen was, I mean, that shocked me. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that. I mean, he might have been a starter. I mean, people are talking about a possible starter this year. Like he was like, you don't fit, you're out. So it's alpha, I think. I mean, maybe for players who lapse is alpha as hell to me. So
yeah, I got scared when they first hired him. I got really scared. I was like, whoa, what are you doing? Because I didn't necessarily love Ziegler off that, which now I'm ready to get a tattoo. I love the way the guy moves. I love the way their front office. I just respect the process. I can't tell you if Dylan Parham's going to be a Pro Bowl guard. I just love their process and the way they do things. It's the way I think too. I think this could get sound clipped. Fascism is good as a coach. You need to be a fascist. And I think Josh McDaniels is. He's a fascist. Derek Carr's already used to that. He's already used to that. He's already used to the coach who is never satisfied with him, who will, do that. He's used to that. My favorite is the Patriots fan. I have some Patriots fans. Everybody on Twitter is a Boston fan. I've come to realize everybody in sports media is a Boston fan. They just pop up out of nowhere. There's a guy by the name of Rainmaker, Nick. He also goes by. I've done some videos with him and everything. He did this thing. I could almost smell the tears coming off of his keyboard when he told me this. He said, "Get ready for toss, crack, right, and halfback dive 1,000,000 times a game." Like, okay, is it going to gain yards? Because that's what I want. Like, I don't care. Like, I want the plays to gain. First off, Patriot, you have N'Keal Harry and Mac Jones. Like, we have Devontae Adams. And Derek Carr. We're getting some Randy Moss shit here. Like, is what we're going to be getting. We're gonna get that stuff. And I think he's great. I think he's done a really good job. I think he's everything that John Gruden wasn't, because I think he has a sense of self-awareness, meaning he never even once wanted to be the GM. And I think he probably could have gotten the GM job from Mark Davis. Mark Davis would have let him be the GM. I guarantee you he would have. But he insisted on bringing his guy over from New England. He's like, keep personnel matters out of my hands. This is out of my hands. I want to coach ball. I just want to coach ball. That was his problem in Denver. He got there and started getting cute with the roster as soon as he got there, in my opinion. I don't need Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler didn't want to listen to me. I don't want to, I don't need these guys. Like all these little, these guys don't want to listen to me. Now he has that. That's what it's so exciting about the Raiders, is that they actually want to be like a real team now. That's not just like TV guys and like these weird. They want to be a real team now. And I think he is an alpha. Now we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be a tough year, but if he wins this division, watch out. That's all I'm gonna say. Like it's doable. People won't do it. But if you're a betting person and you think, just last thing of advice, if you are a betting man and you think either these two things will happen, the Raiders will win the division, or Derek Carr will be the MVP, bet them both, because only one. If one happens, the other happens. Yeah. So that's
like you said about the winning aura. It's like he's got it. It's just been,
and also the Patriots assistants thing. That doesn't translate to offensive guys. That's all defensive guys. It's all defensive guys. So people say Patriots assistants don't become good head coaches elsewhere. Okay. Otherwise, Belichick wouldn't let him leave. He literally never let McDaniels leave most of the time, except one time because he knew he'd learn a lesson. He knew he wasn't ready yet. He was 32 years of my age, and he goes and coaches the Broncos and he's the GM of the team. They don't want to listen to him. And but he would always let these defensive guys who's like, well, I don't mind, I know what I'm doing on defense. Like, I don't need you. McDaniels was always a weird thing, and he was always looking for his perfect spot. I think the reason he didn't take the Indy job, he flaked out on the Indy job, was because Andy knew Andrew Luck wasn't going to be there for that long. So I think that was one of the reasons why that didn't happen. I don't know the inner workings of that. But I think now he picked and chose. He waited for his spot because he knew he could find a team with some parts that he liked and some parts he could just completely gut. And you saw that happen today, which Marcus has to go cover right now. So he's going to go cover that right now. He'll be back for the NFC, which we'll do pretty soon, and we'll knock that out. All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow.